Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And here I have a network update for you guys from AT&T and T-Mobile in this picture. The top rack is T-Mobile with its N71, N41, and millimeter wave setup. This is Nokia equipment at the top. And you can just simply tell by the N41 panel being much skinnier. The Ericsson N41 panel is more thicker. This one is more skinnier. At the bottom, and this was sent in by Hadika. I hope I said that right. It's really good to see that we are getting some AT&T C-band being put up as well. I know they're not very active compared to their peers, their competitors. Verizon far more active, 100%. T-Mobile putting up N41 at a good pace. So both of them are far more active on that mid-band deployment versus AT&T, but it is being put up. That we know, and it shows again here. So at the bottom, this is their standard Ericsson setup. Around 2018, 2019 is when they started changing the setups of their sites. If you guys remember, if you're familiar, AT&T sites used to be loaded with panels, like 5-6 panels per sector. They trimmed that down to this setup that you see here in most Ericsson markets. I know they're changing it up a bit again. So on the right, we have the dual panel setup where there's like a little split in the middle. And then to the left, we have that comm scope, very similar to what T-Mobile deploys on N71. So in some markets, now, where newer sites are going up for AT&T, they deploy two of these bigger panels, these CommScope panels on the left and the right. And then in the middle is where, kind of like similar to this, is where C-band is going. So this is a pretty interesting setup. So I had a source of mine drive to the site, and this is what T-Mobile pulled from the site. 1 gig and 48 on the uplink. Now, this was millimeter wave. I have yet to see anyone really hit peak speeds on N41 or hit a gig with N41. So I'm assuming this is millimeter wave involved in this speed test to hit the gig. And it didn't go any faster than that, really. It kind of tapped out there. So backhaul is still a limitation, even though the circuit has been pushed higher. And the gig will tell you that the circuit is higher, but the backhaul, the throughput is still not at the levels that versus the bandwidth that's on air. So that was T-Mobile at the site. And this was later in the evening, so less traffic. And then here we have AT&T at the same site. As you can see towards the background, top and bottom is AT&T, T-Mobile, and then Verizon off there in the back. So AT&T 212, 40.8, and LTE was also tested, and 5G was consistently faster. Now, I was told I could mention this. So what's happening here is AT&T is trying to use actual NR. So they want a dedicated slice of spectrum on 5G. So there is a differentiator between LTE and 5G. Early on with the DSS results, it resulted in LTE being faster a lot of the times. Almost in all instances, LTE was faster. Now they're trying to dedicate 10 megahertz channels to 5G so there's a difference in speed. So in this testing, I was watching in on the FaceTime. I couldn't record it. The LTE was not significantly, but it was slower on every test versus the 5G portion. The 5G yielded over 200, and LTE was 170, 160. So it was a little bit less, but the 5G performance is getting better now that there is dedicated spectrum to it. So not necessarily the mid-band portion. The C-band is not on air yet. Of course, it's not cleared. But there is more to pull from on the 5G side now versus LTE. So that's really the reason that we're seeing the differentiator in the speed. And then, of course, with C-band, 40 megahertz to launch, that's going to get even significantly faster. So I just wanted to share this with the channel. Again, AT&T not as busy as the competitors, but they're working. There's some stuff in the works in the background. As you saw by this picture, C-band is in the works. Again, not nowhere near the pace of Verizon with C-band. They want to do 75 million by the end of this year. Verizon wants to do 90 million by December this year. So just let that sink in. For those of you who are new to the channel and haven't been tuned in, Verizon, 90 million pops covered by December. That's what they're shooting towards. 7,000 to 8,000 sites touched. AT&T wants to touch 75 million by the end of 2022. Just let that sink in. That's a slower pace. There's no other way to flip it, twist it, turn it. It's a slower pace by far. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. Just wanted to put this out there, letting you guys know that AT&T is working. C-band is going up for them, but it's not anywhere to the pace of what Verizon is doing. If you have been on the channel or you are new to the channel and you have not yet liked, shared, subscribed, make sure you do so. Hit that notification bell so you are notified when I do upload content. Make sure to follow my social media outlets for more updates and interactions. Thanks again for watching. This is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.